I think it's wonderful the community is reaching out and honoring him with this. He would prefer that he could raise someone else up and see them up there on the stage, but with the things that he's reached out and done in the community, I'm just so excited for him, and you know, I can't wait to see him receive this award.
In a small town, people like Jack are the ones who are kind of the foundation of the backbone of a community like this.
I would always call him, kiddingly, Mr. Burlington, because that was him. He was so much in the community, so much respect.
They're a special breed, and in this day and age especially, I look for all the Jack Berries I can find. I want them in the community. Jack is certainly worthy of any consideration or awards that is given to him, and they probably are long overdue, because Jack has, I've known him for 50 years now, and I've watched how he works and the roles he takes. Tireless worker, you know, he just keeps going at things. Doesn't look for all the glory.
But the thing about Jack is it wasn't just a job to him, it was something personal. And I think we'll all say, you know, when he met somebody, it wasn't just that he was trying to maybe get them to come to bank with our bank, but he was a true friend. And he was a true friend to me over a lot of years. He kind of took me under his wing, and I can remember way years back, probably the first year I was there, on Friday nights, a few of the new employees would go over to his house and we'd play cards for a while. You know, he was just that kind of a guy. He was concerned about people.
There is a lot of Jack Berries in this town. And I'm sure Jack will be the first guy to say that. You know, you brought it up before, there's a couple of humanitarians in this room, and you know, a guy like Jack Berry and what he portrays, maybe that brings out the humanitarians in this community.
This guy's ready anytime there's a special cause. If he knows somebody that's in a little trouble, he'll talk to, and if we can help him, help this person. But Jack is out in the front all the time. He knows what's going on.
He's always involved, and I knew him. I'm involved with the police department. He was on the P&F board, but always trying to be an encourager, trying to look who might be down, and just he's the guy who gives energy to a small town, a community like this.
You know, whatever I see he was involved in, and then I always felt like he had to seek out that leadership role, because it wasn't good enough just to be a member sitting there. He had a, you know, so he was a member of JC's and president of JC's, and then he became involved on the rescue squad and was the captain of the rescue squad. He was in Rotary, was Rotary president, Rotary International, became involved with that as well. He also, when they started talking about what can we do to build up Burlington, I remember being so very proud of him to be on the board that initiated Chocolate Fest, and at the time Chocolate City. And so those are my memories. You know, it's always been, he can't just be there. He needs to be in a leadership role.
I was involved with Chocolate Fest from the first thought of Chocolate Fest. And when I was involved with Chocolate Fest, he was always there and asking, well, have you thought about this? Here's the book I put together so many years before. And you know, again, he was just always helpful, always there, never taking a bow.
Jack means a lot to me. He stood out on the council when I first was an alderman. And then he was one of them that approached me a year later to run for mayor, and he was my mentor.
I watched a few different cases where there were some challenging moments for him and political pressure and things like that. He didn't waver from what he believed in. He stuck right with it, and it wasn't easy. So I knew right then and there, here's a man with character.
I didn't grow up with any military family background. Jack really gave me a heart for people who served our country because he's so committed to that. He just oozes that.
But he was glad to go on these on the parade, Memorial Day, and he would offer to, let's say we had a funeral, and he'd be the commander. He's a very patriotic person.
My dad and him were on the rescue squad, and many great memories there. And I remember my dad talking about Jack and what he would do. He would do whatever it took to help a person or save a person's life.
He was involved with a squad that didn't have much for equipment, didn't have much for ambulances. And I mean, you look at today what Rotary sponsors for us, it's unbelievable. And Jack didn't have that, you know, I think they had one ambulance probably, and he was right. It was just basically scrape them up and take them. Now it's so much high level of care that the squad brings to this community. And he knows that, he supports that. I don't think any rescue squad member walks away from it, and Jack definitely has it in his blood.
He makes you love Rotary. And really, Rotary is just representative of the community. It's a service club. It's getting involved, it's supporting, it's encouraging, it's making sure that morality and ethics take place in the community.
God asks us to serve others, and Jack's getting this humanitarian award, and he obviously listened. We talk about his faith, and he's one of those kind of guys that I look at him and say, what a great man, but he gives us great memories. And that's the kind of person he was. Great men give great memories, and that's Jack Berry.
Well, he comes and has coffee with us about 6 days a week. We don't do it on Sunday because we go to the brass door then. No, we don't do that. And I'll see all these nice things, and then I'm going to ask him, don't forget to bring the Kringle in every morning.
He's caring. If, let's say you get sick, who's the first one to get on the phone to give you a call and see how you're doing, and wherever you're at? Jack Berry. That means a lot.
I was in the hospital, and he was the first one there. And he came a couple times. And it was just, I'd fall asleep, and I'd wake up, and he'd be there, just, as a really good friend.
And all of us have had some problems in our lives. We had a couple of difficult situations. One of our children, one of them passed away, in fact. And the first person to call was Jack Berry. He was always concerned. In fact, when I received the Humanitarian Award, the next morning at 8 o'clock, who's calling? Jack Berry. And I hadn't talked with him probably for a couple of years. So he's just that kind of a guy that was just liked people, was friendly, but was concerned about others.
We see all these nice things, we deserve the Kringle.
Jack's list of priorities, it's family first, it's God. If you ever go over there or call Jack, he drops whatever he's doing. You become the most important thing to him at that time.
I believe my mom is the strength behind my dad and the strength at home to allow him to be able to do the many things that he's been able to do. Whenever she speaks of him, her eyes light up.
We raised a family that was just something, a model family. He and his wife Ruth put a lot into that family, and you could tell the special relationships that was created there.
Well, Dad, you've always been there for me, and I know you always will be there for me. And I want to thank you for raising the bar for me and for everyone that you touch. And I just want to tell you I love you very much.
And don't forget, Jack. Don't forget the Kringle.
There you go.